Hi, this is Christina with SedonaMedium.com, and I wanted to address what it means if someone is an empath, what the structure of that energy system looks like. And in another video, I'll talk about different symptoms or ways that you can tell whether you're an empath or someone around you might be an empath. So as human beings, all humans are born with a certain number of receptors that occur in the auric field, which is the energy layers that extend and surround the physical body. And this can extend for several feet. And we have these receptors because it gives us information about the energy that's surrounding us. This happens on an unconscious level where we're picking up on cues for danger, things we might need to be concerned about, emotional states of other people, and senses of places where maybe we don't want to hang out. So it has a survival sort of element to it. In addition, it's also helpful because we're social animals. We're sort of pack creatures. And so we need to be able to pick up on social cues and how someone's responding to us. So all of this happens really naturally through those receptors. We get feedback and information. It sort of happens on a subconscious level. We get a sense of things. However, some people were born with a lot of these receptors. That can be just part of their sensitivity, their frequency, their past life experience, and also if you're born into a lineage of psychics or mediums, people who have a greater level of sensitivity. And some people will develop a lot of receptors. People who are more likely to develop a lot of receptors are those that have grown up around someone in a volatile environment. Typically it happens when people are younger, but it can develop later in life. So for example, let's talk about Johnny. So Johnny is living with a grandfather who has mood swings. Let's say he's an alcoholic, which is also another trigger if you grew up around someone who is an alcoholic or sort of had rage fits, bipolar, those types of things. So Johnny is growing up around a grandfather who's an alcoholic who has issues controlling his temper. As a result, Johnny learns that if he can kind of feel with his energy how his grandfather is feeling before he goes to interact with him, he'll be able to get a sense of whether that's a smart thing to do, whether it's a safe thing to do. By doing that over time, Johnny's going to start to trigger the creation of additional receptors within the energy field to be able to easily pick up, just like this, how's grandfather doing? How's this person doing? And then that extends the whole rest of their life. So even though Johnny grows up, no longer lives with grandfather in that particular situation, all those receptors remain there. And therefore, whenever Johnny is walking around, he can become very highly tuned into how other people are feeling. And because it connects with his receptors, sometimes it can be a little bit confusing, whether it's how he's feeling or whether it's how someone else is feeling. And so that can be a whole nother story. So that's really the structure of what it means with an empath, is that you've got a lot of extra receptors in your auric field, which is picking up on information. It's a heightened form of clairsentience, which means clear sensing, the ability to sense spiritual, emotional, and physical energy around a person, a physical person, spirit people, and also around planetary energies and environmental energies. It denotes people who are extremely sensitive and sometimes can seem like they're on a bit of a roller coaster emotionally. So, if this sounds interesting to you, then tune into the next video where we talk about symptoms and how to identify whether you are an empath.